Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today, it's a throwback to 2001 when Vacheron Constantin decided they would do something for the kids, defined at the time as upwardly mobile Gen Xers, and so the Royal Eagle collection was born. Later on, it would merge with the Malt collection to become a tonneau case series, but at the time, the tonneau meant Royal Eagle, and Malt was more a description of a certain type of lug shape. The watch right here, the Royal Eagle Chronograph in steel, was considered very sporty at the time. Stainless steel, automatic, sporty complication, and loomed. It had a lot going for it at a time when, again, those guys in their 30s and 40s who were making to the good were starting to look at luxury watch options. And the watch is fairly large, as was beginning to be the standard for watchmaking in the early 2000s. So you can see from side to side, 37 millimeters in diameter, from lug to lug, 53 millimeters. It's fairly thin at 13.3 millimeters, and it's got a 19 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. Again, early on, the Royal Eagle was the tonneau collection, and this was sort of influenced by the success of Franck Muller and the impact its tonneau cases made on watch buyers during the 1990s. This was thought to be a very youthful type of watch shape in the early 2000s. And you can see on my wrist, it does wear with a lot of presence. The combination of those lugs and the tonneau profile mean that it wears fairly large. It's a good fit, but 53 millimeters from lug to lug is a big watch. And of course, this being a non-round watch, it's always difficult to qualify exactly how this wears relative to a round watch, but I would say think of it as a 42 to 43 millimeter round watch, and you've got a good sense. Again, my wrist is 16 centimeters circumference, so this is going to be your reference standard. Strap, as you can see here, fake alligator. Why? Because we ship these things from continent to continent on transport straps due to CITES treaties. Rest assured you will get a real alligator leather strap, unless you want fake alligator. So specify the fake strap and you can get it. It's still a hand-stitched Parisian-made Jean Rousseau strap. It's just hand-stitched from synthetics. We have a buckle here with a little bit of the Maltese cross on it. It's a Vacheron double folding clasp, as in the early 2000s, folding clasps were increasingly the standard for high luxury watches, and this is Holy Trinity, so no surprise there. Double folding with a friction fit action. It's still snappy. The tolerances remain excellent to this day. You can see how these lugs later allowed the Royal Eagle collection to merge with the Malt series, as the lug shape is very, very similar. But remember, back at the time, the Malt watches were still in round cases. Royal Eagle was the tonneau, and so we have a tonneau case profile with a little bit of satination for contrast, quite a few articulating character lines, a bezel that matches the shape of the case. We have rectangular chronograph pushers that taper slightly as they move away from the case in both directions. We have the Maltese cross on the crown. We have shoulders for the chronograph pushers. We have a curved and cambered sapphire over a dial that is sort of a slate granular texture. Now we've got an azurage or concentric pattern inside the sub-registers, and you can see we got a little bit of a contrasting darker gray for the chronograph hours and chronograph minutes. We have half-frosted broadsword hands, make for better contrast against the dial base, and these lovely sort of Art Nouveau font Arabic numerals. Let's do a loom shot right here. You can see it's got a little bit of loom. And you'll also appreciate that the broadsword hands at the center are matched by the counterweight of the seconds hand and then the sub-register hands. Now, it doesn't have hacking. That's not a feature of this movement, which Vacheron calls the, I believe, the 1137. It's a Frederic Piguet 1185, so a high-end Blancpain automatic chrono movement. Same movement that was in the overseas chronograph at the time and the Royal Oak chronograph at the time. So you do actually have the double-digit date with a quick-set mechanism. It doesn't have hacking, but it's got the quick-set. It's got a vertical clutch for super smooth engagement, no jump or stagger. Because of the vertical clutch, you can leave it running full-time, no hazard, wear, or tear. And it has a column wheel for very crisp feel. It's a 3 hertz beat rate, a unidirectional winder with a 40-hour power reserve, 37 joules, 5-position adjusted, which is elite adjustment, and a nicely decorated movement too, though you can't see it underneath the Royal Eagle signature case back. The movement is actually quite handsome, and it's a thin movement, and it is a fine movement and perfectly worthy of Vacheron Constantin. Remember, for its first quarter millennium, Vacheron was elite of watchmaking without being a manufacturer, and so using one of the finest movements available, in this case a chronograph caliber back in 2001, was entirely consistent with its heritage and values. And this is a fantastic watch in every regard. 50 meters water resistant, so a little bit more than a standard dress watch. I still don't recommend swimming with it, but there is a lot to love here, and it's an exotic watch from a super elite brand, from a model line that you will never see around the club, around the restaurant, the bar, or the office. Everyone's going to be asking questions. So reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details of this stainless steel wonder.